I lost my baby after being pushed down by the son of my major husband Yi Beichen's first love, Su Jingjing. When I was 3 months pregnant, lying on the cold hospital bed, I murmured to my major husband, Beichen, I want to drink some sparerib soup. Yi Beichen forced a stiff smile and changed the subject. Qingzi, are you hungry? I'll make you some porridge right away. I repeated, I want to drink sparerib soup. I just had a miscarriage. And the doctor said I'm malnourished and need to replenish my nutrients. Yi Beichen remained silent for a long time before slowly saying, Qingzi, we're out of meat coupons at home. How could we be out? I saved meat coupons for half a year. I never begrudge used them, waiting to take half back to your parents for the new year. Yi Beichen didn't dare to look at me, who was pressing him hard, and stammered with his head down, Qingzi, Jingjing and her child are new here and struggling. I felt sorry for them, so, I couldn't take my eyes off Yi Beichen's face, watching the young Yi Beichen slowly merge with the Yi Beichen who would become the top commander of the military district 40 years later. Before his rebirth, Yi Beichen never considered me at all. The only ones at the top of his heart were Su Jingjing and her child, the truth I had confirmed at the cost of my life in my previous life. Why did I still have expectations after being reborn? I smiled. Staring at Yi Beichen and enunciating each word, Yi Beichen, let's get a divorce. Yi Beichen didn't believe I truly wanted a divorce. He was convinced I was just jealous and angry. After all, I loved him so much. I gave up the chance to go to university for him, abandoned a comfortable life to follow him, who had nothing at the time, and joined the army. All I wanted was to be with him forever and be his devoted wife. Yi Beichen knew exactly how much I had sacrificed for him. And we used to be deeply in love. We shared a single steamed bun, a single egg, and even a piece of candy, where he would take a bite and I would eat the rest. Back then, all I could see was Yi Beichen, and all he could see was me. He once held me and passionately swore, Qingzi, you've suffered with me. I swear, I will always treat you well. I will give you the best life. I believed Yi Beichen. But who knew his promises would last only 3 short years, in our 3rd year of marriage. Yi Beichen was promoted to major after distinguishing himself as an ordinary soldier. Just as I thought our good days were about to begin, Yi Beichen's childhood sweetheart and first love, Su Jingjing, showed up with her son Hao Hao. From the day Su Jingjing appeared, Yi Beichen gradually forgot the promises he had made to me. He went out of his way for Su Jingjing, arranging a house for her and securing a job for her in the cultural troupe. When Su Jingjing's plumbing broke or a light bulb needed replacing, Yi Beichen was always there to help her fix it. In our home with Yi Beichen, I took care of all the chores. I couldn't bear to have him, who had been training hard in the military all day, come home and still have to do housework. After marrying him, I took on all the household duties. I transformed from a delicate young girl into a hands-on homemaker. Yi Beichen always returned home to hot meals, warm water, and clean clothes to change into. At home, he had everything handed to him, clothes, food, without ever having to worry about anything. I believed in my past life that helping Su Jingjing was just a soldier's duty. It wasn't until Hao Hao, Su Jingjing's son, pushed me down and caused a miscarriage when I was 3 months pregnant. It wasn't until 5 years later, when I was about to give birth to my second child, that both Su Jingjing and I were involved in a car accident. Yi Beichen instructed the doctors to prioritize saving Su Jingjing, leaving me to bleed out without care. I gave birth with all my might, but ended up having my uterus removed due to massive bleeding. Unable to have more children, I poured all my love into this one child. Under my meticulous care, the child grew day by day. I spared no effort for him, taking care of his food, clothing, and daily needs, and even hired top tutors to help him improve his grades. Eventually, he was admitted to the best university. When our child graduated with a Ph.D., Yi Beichen also rose to become the highest-ranking leader in the military district. I happily went out to buy groceries to celebrate their achievements. However, I got into a car accident on the way. Lying in the hospital bed, I overheard a conversation between my son and Yi Beichen. Dad, now that Mom is gone, you can marry Aunt Sue. Aunt Sue has waited for you for so many years. It's time you gave her a proper title. I opened my eyes in shock, looking at Yi Beichen and my son, both with their heads bowed in the hospital room. As I listened to my son talk about the hardships and struggles Su Jingjing has endured over the years, my chest burned with fury. The ultimate hatred and anger of being betrayed by my trusted husband and my own son made me spit out a mouthful of blood before I closed my eyes in unwilling. I never expected to have a second chance. I was reborn back to the summer of 1985. To the 3rd year of my marriage to Yi Beichen, Back to the time when Su Jingjing's son Hao pushed me, causing a miscarriage at 3 months pregnant, knowing I had returned and what would happen next. I didn't want to grievance myself like I did in my previous life. I coldly proposed a divorce to Yi Beichen. Yi Beichen, however, refused. He thought I was just jealous and throwing a tantrum. For the first time, he promised me, "Qingzi, I'm sorry, I know you're upset about losing the baby. I'll keep my distance from Su Jingjing from now on." I closed my eyes and ignored Yi Beichen. There's no room for negotiation when it comes to divorce. I stayed in the hospital for a week before being discharged. During that time, Yi Beichen was away on a mission and not at home. On the day of my discharge, I returned home alone, walking lonely on the street. The vendor selling lamb soup by the roadside enthusiastically stood at the door, calling out to customers, "Freshly cooked lamb soup. Great for nourishing the body, why not have a bowl?" I looked down at my patched clothes and thought about how Yi Beichen had given all the meat coupons to Su Jingjing and her son, completely ignoring my need for nutrition after a recent miscarriage and my weakened state. Love and indifference are so clear. Yi Beichen doesn't love me, I can only love myself. I stepped into the mutton shop and said to the owner, "Boss, give me a bowl of mutton soup." The owner looked at me in utter surprise. "Are you sure you want one? Didn't I hear you say the other day that you were saving money to send to Yi the battalion commander's parents?" "No more saving," I replied softly, thinking about my past life. I was truly ridiculous, wanting to stretch every penny into 10, but the money I saved, along with meat, grain, and cloth coupons, all went to Su Jingjing and her family. Yi Beichen spent the things I worked so hard to produce on Su Jingjing and her family, while I lived on coarse food and bran. I was such an idiot in my past life. From now on, I'm going to love myself properly, starting with a bowl of lamb soup. After eating and drinking my fill, I returned to my home with Yi Beichen, where I pulled out a box from under the bed in the bedroom. Inside the box were all the things I had painstakingly saved over the years. Not a single meat coupon in sight, but there are a few grain and cloth coupons left, along with some money. I took out all the grain and cloth coupons and money, and put them in my pocket. My eyes fell on the 2 lonely gold rings lying in the box. I reached out and picked them up. "This ring is our wedding ring, mine and Yi Beichen's." Back then, I left with Yi Beichen, the poor boy, against my family's wishes. With only a gold bracelet in my hand, this gold bracelet was given to me by my grandmother. Yi Beichen was penniless back then, with nothing to his name and his family in dire straits. I pawned the bracelet, gave part of the money to Yi Beichen's parents, kept some for our living expenses, and bought 2 rings as our wedding rings. After marrying Yi Beichen, we both lived frugally with his salary and mine. Yi Beichen had parents, siblings, and a large family expense. We sent half of our salaries back to support his family, the remaining half was for us. I saved diligently for 2 years, hoping to decorate our home nicely. However, Yi Beichen ended up giving that money to Su Jingjing and her son for their household expenses. Even after all the money I had saved was gone, I found out that Su Jingjing didn't have the dancewear and shoes she needed. Yi Beichen secretly pawned the wedding ring I had prepared for him behind my back to buy dancewear and shoes for Su Jingjing. Su Jingjing dazzled at the performance of the cultural troupe with her expensive costumes, earning the appreciation of the leaders and rising to become the head of the cultural troupe. She showed no gratitude towards me, instead strutting in front of me to flaunt her deep love with Yi Beichen. I let out a cold laugh. Thinking about the grievance I endured in my previous life, I walked out the door with the ring, determined to pawn it before Yi Beichen this lifetime. He wants to use my sincerity to pave the way for Su Jingjing. Not a chance. The 2 rings together weigh 15 grams, and the price of gold was very cheap back in 1984, at over 30 yuan per gram. I pawned 2 rings for less than $500 and passed by the supply and marketing cooperative on my way home, seeing my patched up clothes. I didn't hesitate to walk in. When I came out, I carried a bag with all my cloth coupons exchanged for 3 sets of clothes. The soles of my shoes were worn through, so I bought 2 new pairs. I returned home with my spoils only to find Yi Beichen had come back from his mission. Seeing me back, he stepped forward to take the things from my hands, but I took a step back to avoid him. He awkwardly rubbed his hands and explained, "I went straight to the hospital to pick you up as soon as I got back. But the doctor said you had already been discharged." I ignored Yi Beichen. Seeing that I didn't respond, he cautiously looked at me and asked, "Qingzi, are you still in pain?" I coldly replied, "Of course it hurts." "Well, Jingjing has already made Hao apologize, and this won't happen again." "Apologize? When did he apologize? I didn't know about it, I retorted. How knows he did wrong and was too scared to face you. So he apologized to me. I've already forgiven him on your behalf. Yi Bei-chin, how dare you forgive others on my behalf? That was your child too. How could you be so cold-hearted? As I confronted him, a look of pain appeared on Yi Bei-chin's face. He reached out to take my hand, his tone earnest. Qingzi, I know you've suffered. Take good care of yourself. We're still young. We'll have more children. Never. I pulled my hand away. Slowly and deliberately, she looked at Yi Bei-chin and declared, Yi Bei-chin, we will never have another child. I want a divorce from Yi Bei-chin, and I will never give birth to that ungrateful son who treats his enemy as his mother. In this lifetime, Yi Bei-chin and I are as far apart as mountains and rivers. There will be no future. Yi Bei-chin still treats me as if I'm throwing a tantrum. He's at a loss, yet patiently coaxing me. I was forcibly pulled into his embrace, held tightly. With his gentle, deep voice, he soothed me. Good girl. Orange, it's all my fault. You can hit me or scold me. But please don't ignore me. He keeps saying it's his fault, but does he really know what he did wrong? I don't think so. I was thinking to myself when footsteps were heard outside. The door was soon pushed open, and Su Jingjing appeared at the doorway. Seeing Yi Bei-chin holding me, Su Jingjing gasped, and Yi Bei-chin quickly let go of me. Su Jingjing didn't leave. Her gaze, carrying an undetectable resentment, swept over me and finally rested on Yi Bei-chin, with a delicate and pitiful voice. Bei-sheng, I need to talk to you. I sneered inwardly at this, turned around, and slammed the door shut as I went back to my room. In the living room, Su Jingjing bit her lip, looking wronged and pitiful. Bei-sheng, is Qingzi still upset? No, don't overthink it. Qingzi isn't the petty type. By the way, what did you want to talk to me about? It's about that incident last time. I asked, and a set of clothes and shoes costs nearly 500 yuan. How can I afford that kind of money? Maybe I shouldn't lead the dance after all. Yi Bei-chin remained silent for a moment before speaking. This is a great opportunity. We can't give up on it. But I really can't afford the clothes. You're also struggling. Besides, Orange is still upset. You can't let my dreams come between you and Orange. Su Jingjing was so tactful that Yi Bei-chin couldn't bear to let her down. He comforted her. Don't worry, I'll figure something out. Just wait for my news, with Yi Bei-chin's assurance. Su Jingjing left happily. A few minutes later, Yi Bei-chin entered the room. He bent down to retrieve the box from under the bed, but his eyes widened in surprise when he opened it. Where are the things inside? The grain coupons, cloth coupons, and our rings in the orange are all gone. I slowly sat up in bed and replied, I used the cloth coupons to buy clothes and shoes, and the grain coupons to buy food. Yi Bei-chin's expression was very displeased, and he spoke in a tone of reproach. Why? Why would you suddenly think of buying clothes? I can't buy clothes, only Su Jingjing can. Or should I use the cloth coupons I painstakingly saved? Anger drove me to confront Yi Bei-chin. Why can't I buy clothes? Those are the cloth coupons I worked hard to save. Isn't it only right that I use my saved coupons to buy clothes when mine are worn out? Yi Bei-chin looked at my patched-up clothes and suddenly faltered. He wasn't blind to it, but he believed that since I liked him, I should endure hardships and toil without complaint. Yi Bei-chin's face flashed with embarrassment when I confronted him directly, and he softened his tone. You should buy some clothes too. It's all my fault. I neglected you. He was very sincere in his apology, but soon started asking about the gold ring again. Where's our wedding ring? Why is it missing? I pawned the ring. I replied lightly, huh. Yi Bei-chin was momentarily stunned. He didn't even ask why I wanted to pawn the ring. Instead, he pressed me for money. How much did you get for it, Orange? Give me the money from pawning the ring. What do you want it for? As far as I know, you don't have any urgent expenses, especially since your parents just received their living expenses. Yi Bei-chin has no reason to need money right now. In my past life, Yi Bei-chin secretly pawned the ring behind my back to buy expensive dance costumes and shoes for Su Jingjing's performance. Now that I've already pawned the ring in advance, he has to give a reason if he wants money. After much deliberation, Yi Bei-chin finally spoke up. Qingzi, here's the thing. I have a comrade in arms who is like a brother to me. His family is in a huge predicament right now, and they urgently need money. I promised to lend him the money. I interrupted Yi Bei-chin. I should know all your comrades, right? Who is it? You don't know him. He was a comrade from before. Yi Bei-chin chose to lie to me for Su Jingjing's sake. How ridiculous. In fact, the last time I discovered the ring was gone, he lied to me in the same way. It was just Su Jingjing who broke the ice behind his back. This lifetime, he still refuses to change and wants to deceive me. Unfortunately, I've been given a second chance. And his deception is no longer effective. It's not just Yibachin who can lie, I can too. I looked at Yibachin with an apologetic expression. That's really unfortunate, but I've already spent the money. Spent? How could you possibly spend so much money all at once? Yibachin didn't believe me. I already had a plan. I sent it back to my parents. It's been 3 years since I left with you. In these 3 years, I haven't gone back to see my parents even once. Nor have I sent them any gifts. I'm such an ungrateful daughter. I miss my parents. My mom's birthday is coming up, so I thought I'd send some money back to her. Yibachin fell silent after hearing this. I followed him for 3 years without any contact with my family, solely focused on being filial to his parents and enduring hardships. It was only right for me to send some money to my mother on her birthday. I didn't leave Yibachin any opportunity to ask for money. Yibachin was desperate to raise money to buy clothes for Su Jingjing, so she could soar to new heights. Yibachin, who had just returned from a mission without any rest, rushed out again to find a solution. Not long after Yibachin left, Su Jingjing came knocking again. She entered with a smug smile, looking at me. Jiqing, do you know I'm going to be the lead dancer? What does it have to do with me? I sneered. How could it have nothing to do with you? You don't know. But when Beixing heard I was going to lead the dance, he was so happy. Then, when he found out I was missing dance clothes and shoes, he immediately offered to help me figure it out. He's been so good to me. I coldly watched the woman in front of me, her face animated with excitement. In my previous life, Su Jingjing later shone on stage, rose to become the head of the cultural troupe, and thrived. She only came to tell me all this after Yi Beixing became a major general. Why did she come to tell me this earlier in this life? Doesn't she fear I'll make a scene? Doesn't she fear I'll thwart my own desires? Su Jingjing is fearless because she's indulged, she's favored, so she doesn't fear me. My forbearance makes her think I'm easy to bully, which is why she pushes her luck. Watching Su Jingjing's smugness, I sighed softly, feeling my efforts were wasted. Yi Beichin really treats you well. Seeing me say that, Su Jingjing became even more smug. Of course, Beixing cares about me the most. You're really pitiful, aren't you, losing your child? And Beixing didn't even feel sorry for you. You know, when you had a miscarriage, Beixing gave all the meat coupons at home to me and how to buy meat. She smiled sweetly, her gaze towards me filled with disdain. He cares about me and how, but not at all about his miscarried wife. Oh, and he went to see me and how first when he returned from his mission, Orange, after being with Beixing for so many years. Are you sure he really likes you? Such blatant provocation never happened in my previous life. Has Su Jingjing lost her mind? I stared at Su Jingjing without a word. Seeing that I didn't speak, she added another sentence. By the way, I need very expensive dancewear and shoes for my lead role. I don't have a penny right now, and Beixing offered to help me figure it out. Su Jingjing's words made me chuckle. Is that so? Are you angry, Orange? Please don't be mad. I'll tell you. Beixing said he's going to pawn your wedding ring to help me. The ring was a gift from you, right? Back then, you were so desperate for him, giving up everything for him. But it seems he wasn't moved at all. The blunt provocation from Su Jingjing made my heart skip a beat. How did Su Jingjing know that Yi Beixing was going to pawn our wedding ring to help her buy clothes? Come to think of it, in my previous life, Yi Beixing pawning the wedding ring to pave the way for her was only discovered by me after I found the ring gone and had a fight with Yi Beixing. Su Jingjing of this lifetime would never know that Yi Beichin would act as her ring bearer. So, did Su Jingjing also get a second chance like me? This is too much fun. Tired of Su Jingjing's incessant chatter, I splashed a cup of water in her face, and she covered her face and ran off crying. Yi Beichin didn't return until late the next evening. As soon as he returned, Su Jingjing intercepted him on the road and took him away. Su Jingjing naturally wouldn't miss the opportunity to tattle, so when Yi Beichin returned with a dark expression, he pushed the door open and interrogated me. Jingjing came to see you out of kindness. Why did you splash water in her face, Orange? You've really disappointed me. I sat at the dining table eating plain rice with egg soup, listening to Yi Beichin's yelling without even looking up. After Yi Beichin's yelling subsided, I had already finished my dinner. Just to clarify, I only made my portion, not Yi Beichin's. I put down my chopsticks. Are you done? If you are, can I speak now? Su Jingjing said I bullied her, but did she tell you what she said to me? What did she say? Yi Beichin asked. She said you don't like me, that you only think about her and her son. So you gave her all the meat coupons at home and spent money and effort on her and her son. Oh, and she also said you were going to pawn our wedding rings to buy her dancing clothes and shoes. She said I'm pitiful. Yi Bei-chin looked shocked and upset. That's impossible. How could that be? Orange, you must be making this up, right? You're still holding a grudge about how pushing you. So, believe it or not, I interrupted Yi Bei-chin, thinking how pathetic I really was. Yi Bei-chin and I have been sharing the same bed for 3 years. And he doesn't trust me at all, subconsciously. He has always chosen to protect and believe in Su Jingjing, and I truly am as pathetic and pitiful as Su Jingjing said. I found I couldn't take it for even one more day. If you don't trust me, then let's get a divorce. We'll file for divorce tomorrow. Orange, what are you talking about? How can you treat marriage like a joke? Let me tell you, I don't want to hear you say that again. Yi Bei-chin still refuses to get a divorce. I don't understand why he won't get a divorce, anyway. My decision to get a divorce is very firm. I ignored Yi Bei-chin's anger and calmly tidied up, washed up, and went to bed. Yi Bei-chin sat alone in the living room, fuming. I knew he was angry and waiting for me to take the initiative to comfort him. In my past life, I was foolish enough to hate seeing him upset, but not this time. I'm done trying to win him over with my warm gestures. From now on, he'll have to get used to my coldness and indifference, starting from this day. I no longer care about Yi Bei-chin. I won't prepare hot meals or clean clothes for him. I will absolutely never ask about Yi Bei-chin's whereabouts or worry about him. Yi Bei-chin returned to a cold house and a cold me. He was sure I was pouting, so he didn't comfort me and we entered a cold war. When we met, we didn't even look at each other, like strangers. My cold war with Yi Bei-chin naturally benefited Su Jingjing. She cooked dinner for Yi Bei-chin and even did his laundry. She treated Yi Bei-chin as if she were his wife, wholeheartedly. Several times she came to me to brag, trying to provoke me, but I unceremoniously kicked her out. Su Jingjing cried and complained to Yi Bei-chin several times, but with little effect. I don't care what Yi Bei-chin thinks of me, and he wouldn't dare confront me either. Days went by, and Su Jingjing soon grew restless. Her good times came to an end first, in my previous life. All the things I scrimped and saved were given to her by Yi Bei-chin, benefiting her and her son. This time, I won't scrimp and save anymore. I'll keep my own salary, and Yi Bei-chin's salary must be used for the family first, with only the remainder left for Su Jingjing and her son to squander. Without my full subsidy, Su Jingjing can no longer live lavishly with her son, enjoying the finer things in life. I heard Su Jingjing's son crying because there was no meat to eat and no candies or biscuits for snacks. Not only that, but they've also run out of their fine rice and flour. Without the grain coupons I provided through my own frugality, Su Jingjing has to rely on herself. She didn't have enough food coupons to afford polished rice and white flour, and there was no way Su Jingjing could tolerate eating coarse grains. Especially when she saw me eating polished rice and white flour with stewed spare ribs every day to nourish my body. Su Jingjing was so jealous her eyes turned red. Of course, that wasn't the main issue. The most important thing was that Su Jingjing's performance day was getting closer. Currently, Yi Bei-chin is just a major and battalion commander, and with his limited allowance and salary, he naturally can't afford much. Everyone was under a lot of stress at this time. And Yi Bei-chin was frantically borrowing money and seeking connections to help Su Jingjing. He had approached everyone he could, but no matter what, he couldn't borrow that much money. 500 yuan, even by the time Su Jingjing was about to perform, Yi Bei-chin hadn't managed to borrow enough money to buy her expensive clothes and shoes. As the performance time arrived, Su Jingjing didn't get the expensive dancewear and shoes she had hoped for. Naturally, her performance couldn't achieve any stunning effect. Su Jingjing, who was determined to outshine everyone, was left disappointed, and her dance only earned a consolation prize. The gap between 2 lifetimes was too much for Su Jingjing to bear. She cried until her eyes were swollen and shut herself in her room for days, refusing to see anyone. She waited for Yi Bei-chin to comfort her, and as she hoped, Yi Bei-chin spent the afternoon consoling her and even had dinner at her place. I sat quietly at home, ready with the divorce application, waiting for Yi Bei-chin to return and sign it. Yi Bei-chin returned from Su Jingjing's place and was pleasantly surprised to see me waiting for him in the living room. He approached me with a smile, walking quickly. "Qingzi, you waited for me." Before he could finish his sentence, I picked up the signed divorce report from my left side and handed it to him. "Take a look at this. If there are no issues, just sign it." Yi Bei-chin's face turned pale as he realized it was a divorce report. "You want a divorce from me, Ji Qing?" how dare you? Why wouldn't I dare? You love Su Jingjing so much. Isn't it better for me to step aside and let you be happy? Listening to my calm words, Yi Beixing was furious to the extreme. In a fit of rage, he kicked over the chair, threw the divorce papers I had prepared onto the ground, and roared at me, Jiqing. How many times do I have to tell you to believe me? Su Jingjing and I are just friends. I only helped her out of pity, and I have no feelings or thoughts for her. Really, aren't you ashamed of saying that? Is Su Jingjing the only one in this compound who needs help? I don't think so. In my opinion, there are many people who need help, like Captain Liu, whose family has an elderly person who is sick and paralyzed, or Commander He, who has several children at home. Why haven't I seen you putting any effort into helping them? Yi Beichen's face turned red as I bluntly exposed his thoughts. You're completely unreasonable. Anyway, Zhu Jingjing and I are not what you think. I won't divorce you. Watching Yi Beichen's red face and his refusal to divorce, my patience ran out. Yi Beichen, why can't you just admit and face your own feelings? You clearly can't bear to part with Zhu Jingjing, and your love for her has surpassed that for me, your wife. I'm not pursuing this. I just want to make things right for you both. Signing the papers will allow you to be with your true love, and it's a win-win situation, isn't it? I will never divorce you. Don't even think about it. Yi Beichen tore up the divorce papers and warned me, Jiqing, marriage is not a joke. Our marriage is a military marriage, which is sacred and inviolable. You can't just file for divorce out of groundless suspicion. That's absolutely impossible. Yi Beichen refused to divorce, and I had no choice, since he was right. Our marriage is a military marriage, which is sacred and inviolable. It's not easy for me to divorce him when he hasn't committed a major mistake and refuses to sign. So, am I supposed to waste away like I did in my previous life? Am I destined to continue this miserable life as I did in my previous one? I absolutely refuse. That night, things got really tense between Yi Beichen and me. It was because we were arguing about getting a divorce. Yi Beichen started distancing himself from Su Jingjing. And she came crying to him, saying her son Hao was injured. Instead of rushing out to help as he usually would, Yi Beichen just looked at me. Qingzi, it's not easy for her as a single mom with a child. Why don't we go help them together? You come with me. I know what that mother and son are really like, and I know they've been scheming to hurt me. How could I possibly agree to help those who hurt me? I refused. Yi Beichen, go by yourself. Don't come to me. It's really laughable. There are so many people in this compound. Why does she only come to you for help and not others? Yi Beichen stopped in his tracks when he heard me say that. After Su Jingjing's complaints outside went unanswered for a while, she upped the ante. Her cries were earth-shattering. Hao, don't scare your mom. Hao, somebody, please help me. My Hao has fainted. Hearing Su Jingjing's wails, Yi Beichen could no longer hold back. I'll be right back. Yi Beichen didn't return until very late. And when he did, he was holding a bag of candy. He came in, glanced at me cautiously, and then explained, Hao injured his leg. It's quite serious. Fortunately, he was rushed to the hospital in time, so no major harm was done. I let out a cold laugh in my heart. Yi Beichen didn't know that while he was at the hospital taking care of Su Jingjing's son, Su Jingjing had returned home once. She came to me triumphantly, bragging about how much Yi Beichen cares for her son. Yi Beichen paid her medical bills and mentioned that the doctor had always thought she was Yi Beichen's lover, saying they were a perfect match. She also said that Yi Beichen bought candies and biscuits for her and Hao. I knew Su Jingjing was trying to provoke me, but I didn't care about what she said. Why should she come here to show off in front of me? Why should I be treated this way by Su Jingjing? This isn't something I should have to endure. It's all because of this man in front of me. Yi Beichen had no idea what was on my mind. He eagerly handed me the candy he was holding, saying, I bought it on the way back. Try it. I didn't take it and let out a cold laugh. Are you sure it's what I like? Or is it leftovers from Su Jingjing and her son? Yi Beichen's face turned bright red. My bluntness had embarrassed him to the extreme. After a long pause, he spoke with difficulty. Orange, I've already said I'm sorry. Can you please not be mad at me? I just felt sorry for them. Mother and child, with no one to rely on. I've heard this countless times. I can't change Yi Beichen, so I'll change myself. I covered my ears and slammed the door shut. Yi Beichen let out a deep sigh, and I heard him sighing in the living room outside. I used to feel my heart wrench every time I heard him sigh, but now, I feel nothing, and I quickly drift off to sleep without a care. Half asleep, I felt myself being pulled into someone's embrace. A large hand was about to pull off my clothes. And I jolted awake. I saw Yi Beichen's handsome face. He held me tightly, breathing heavily. Qingzi, let's have a baby. Everything will get better with a child. A child. Did he really think a child could trap me? Thinking of the words I heard on the brink of death in my previous life, I felt both anger and hatred. I pushed Yi Beichen forcefully, but he refused to let go. Acting out of anger, I slapped Yi Beichen across the face. With a loud smack, Yi Beichen let go of me. His eyes wide with disbelief, I pushed him off the bed with all my strength, and with a thud, Yi Beichen fell to the ground. He sat on the floor, still staring at me in disbelief. I glared at him, speaking each word deliberately. Yi Beichen, you really disgust me. The light in our room stayed on all night until dawn. Yi Beichen sat silently by the bed, having not slept all night. Seeing the sky light up outside, I got up, washed, and left, closing the door behind me, after having breakfast outside. I went to work. I dialed the phone number I had kept in my heart for years using the office phone. On the other end was the sound of a dial tone, and my heart was racing. For Yi Beichen, I gave up my closest family member. Will they answer my call? Finally, a familiar voice came from the other end. Hello. Tears welled up in my eyes, and I choked out, Mom, Orange, is that you? My Orange, it's me, Mom, it's me. You heartless girl, it's been 3 years since you left, not a single word. How could you be so cruel? I'm sorry, Mom, I'm sorry, I was wrong. It's all my fault, I apologize. Tears streamed down my face. I was sobbing uncontrollably, unable to stop crying. My mom was crying on the other end of the phone. For the past 3 years, your dad, brother, grandma, and I have been waiting for your call, and we finally got it. Are you doing okay, Orange? Is Yi Beichen treating you well? Do you have kids yet? When are you and Yi Beichen coming back to see us? We miss you so much. My mom kept asking question after question, and I couldn't stop crying. Mom, I will come back to see you, but I'll be alone. My mom immediately sensed something was wrong. Is he treating you badly? Is he treating you badly? My mom yelled over the phone, you heartless thing, how dare he? Just wait, your dad, brother, and I are coming right now. We'll make sure he gets what's coming to him. Mom, don't come. I'm planning to divorce Yi Beichen. We support you. No matter what, we support you. My mom didn't ask for reasons. I was raised by her, and she knows my temper. I was head over heels for Yi Beichen back then. To leave on my own initiative now, one can imagine what I've been through. If I hadn't been pushed to the brink, I would never have turned back. My mom comforted me. Qingzi, we're waiting for you. If you need anything, let us know. We'll do everything in our power to help you, Mom. If I can't get a divorce from Yi Beichen, have Dad make a call. I will get a divorce no matter what. My dad isn't an ordinary person. If Yi Beichen refuses to divorce, I'll ask my dad for help to end this marriage between Yi Beichen and me. I didn't have to use my dad's connections, though. Su Jingjing came to me on her own. She looked like she had just been crying, her eyes swollen, and her gaze at me was filled with resentment and unwillingness. Jiqing, I didn't expect you to be such a person. Resorting to underhanded tactics and playing the retreat to advance strategy, speak human language. I didn't indulge her and shot back directly. Su Jingjing glared at me angrily. Beixing asked me to come and make it clear to you that there's nothing between him and me. Don't misunderstand us. Misunderstand. Didn't you tell me before that Yi Beixing's heart is full of you and your child? Didn't you say that Yi Beixing dotes on you and your child to the sky? Didn't you say that Yi Beixing would pawn our wedding rings to buy you clothes and shoes? Didn't you even laugh at Yi Beixing for not loving me? Why the sudden change of tune, you? Su Jingjing was left speechless, her face turning ashen. Jiqing, you win. I admit you win. Okay, I win. What did I win? You're still pretending, using the excuse of divorce to force Beixing to cut ties with me. How despicable. Su Jingjing's face was filled with anger, as if I had committed an unforgivable crime. Beixing is on the rise now, and we can't afford a divorce. For Beixing's career, I'll do anything, including apologizing to you and admitting my mistakes. I'm sorry. It was me who caused you to misunderstand. Please forgive me. I looked at Su Jingjing in surprise. What is this supposed to mean? Did Yi Beixing send her to apologize? Doesn't it feel too late for that? After reluctantly finishing her apology, Su Jingjing continued, even though I apologized, but I looked down on you, Jiqing. Your schemes are indeed not ordinary. Do you think you can tie Beixing down like this? You can have his body but not his heart. His heart has always been with me. I couldn't help but laugh. You really endure humiliation for Yi Beixing, but it's really unnecessary. Su Jingjing, If you want to marry Yi Bei-shing and become his only one, you don't need to complain about me, just use your brain, and you have plenty of opportunities. What opportunities? Su Jingjing looked at me. I took out a divorce report and handed it to Su Jingjing. As long as you get Yi Bei-shing to sign this, I will have no relationship with him. Aren't you deeply in love with him? From now on, Yi Bei-shing will be yours. Su Jingjing couldn't believe such good fortune would fall into her lap. Is this really true? You're not tricking me, are you? Su Jingjing didn't believe I would back out. Are you plotting something against me again? I'm telling you, Jiqing, I will never fall for it. I reminded her, the divorce report is in your hands. All you need to do is spend a few minutes reading it. Then figure out a way to get Yi Bei-shing to sign it, and he's yours. Su Jingjing was tempted. She carefully read through the divorce report I had prepared. After confirming there were no tricks or traps, Su Jingjing still wasn't entirely at ease. Why are you willing to let him go? You stayed with him when he was at his poorest and most useless. Now that he's on the rise, why would you let go? Because I have a thing about cleanliness. I find it disgusting to be with a man who's been used by someone else. Su Jingjing believed me and left with the divorce papers. She said she would find a way to get Yi Bei-shing to sign. As long as I kept my promise, I know Su Jingjing's capabilities. She can bewitch Yi Bei-shing to the point of forgetting me, his wife who shared his hardships. She must have some tricks up her sleeve. And I believe this divorce report will be back in my hands soon. I started packing my bags to leave 3 years ago. I had nothing but a gold bracelet when I left with Yi Bei-shing, cutting ties with my family without hesitation. 3 years later, as I prepare to leave Yi Bei-shing, I realize I'm just as empty-handed as I was back then. It took me less than 10 minutes to pack my things, and it all fit into a small bag. Yi Bei-shing returned after packing up. He bought meat, fish, and other ingredients, and went straight to the kitchen to cook as soon as he got home. I stayed in the room and didn't go out. An hour later, Yi Bei-shing knocked on the door and called me. Qingzi, dinner's ready. I got up and walked out, seeing a table full of dishes. Besides the meal, I also noticed a delicate little cake. Yi Bei-shing's face was filled with smiles, as if there had never been any animosity between us, and he greeted me warmly. Come and sit down. Seeing my gaze fall on the cake, Yi Bei-shing explained. Qingzi, today is our 3rd wedding anniversary, and I want to celebrate it. It's touching that he remembered our wedding anniversary. As in our previous life, it was always just me who remembered it. Yi Bei-shing never cared or paid any attention. Now that I've made up my mind to leave, he has given me such a shock. Yes, it's a shock, not a surprise. I wasn't moved at all, and certainly not surprised. This meal left me with mixed feelings. As Yi Bei-shing kept reminiscing about the past 3 years we spent together, he recalled how I had thrown caution to the wind for him, and the difficult times we had endured together. His eyes held the familiar depth of affection as he spoke, and in the end, he took my hand. Orange, it's my fault. I shouldn't have made you sad and hurt. I promise to change. Orange, will you forgive me, please? My heart is filled with bitterness. Yi Bei-shing remembers everything about us. He knows I've been hurt. If he knows, why is he treating me like this? No matter how eloquent he is now, I feel nothing for any promises he makes to me. I will never forget how he, in my previous life, forgot our original intentions and betrayed me. I can't forget what my son and Yi Bei-shing said to me when I was on my deathbed. After Mom passed away, you should give Aunt Sue a proper title. Yi Bei-shing wants me dead. Only if I die can he marry Su Jingjing as he wishes. How ironic and how true. Yi Bei-shing lit the candles and, with deep emotion, took my hand, asking me to make a wish. I clasped my hands together as he wished and made a wish to the lit candles. Once, I wished to be with Yi Bei-shing for a lifetime of happiness and safety, never to be apart. Now, I wish to never see him again for the rest of my life. Su Jingjing acted quickly, and 2 days later, I received the divorce report signed by Yi Bei-shing. I don't know how he got Yi Bei-shing to sign it, and I don't want to know. Su Jingjing handed me the divorce report with a nervous expression. Don't you dare back out. If you do, I won't let you off. She actually dared to threaten me. Who gave her the guts? I took the signed divorce report. I won't back out. Thank you. Thanks to Su Jingjing for helping me get the divorce I wanted, but from now on, she'll have to fend for herself. She sees the flourishing success that Yi Bei-shing achieved through his rise, unaware of the hardships behind it. She doesn't know how much I sacrificed in my previous life. Yi Bei-shing's rise was due to his efforts, my support, and the help and guidance of my parents. Su Jingjing thought she had found a promising stock in Yi Bei-shing, believing she could rest easy as the wife of the highest military leader. Does she even deserve it? Yi Beichen is on another mission again. After he left, I went to see the military leader with Yi Beichen's signed divorce report without any hesitation. The leader was surprised to see the divorce report. Why are you getting a divorce? Aren't you doing fine? I shook my head. We're not well. Our relationship has been broken for a long time. Yi Beichen's direct supervisor didn't quite believe it and was about to call Yi Beichen to verify the details of the task. I quickly stopped the leader, saying that I missed my parents after being away for years and wanted to go back to take care of my elderly father. The leader promptly signed and stamped the document as soon as I mentioned my father. I went to the Civil Affairs Bureau with my divorce report and quickly got my divorce certificate. After completing the divorce procedures, I proceeded to resign. The unit did not try to stop me, and my resignation was processed the same day. With everything settled, I went to the train station and bought a ticket home. Yi Beichen, from now on, we shall never cross paths again. Yi Beichen had been away on this mission for half a month, and he was eager to return home. For some reason, he missed Jiqing intensely, more than he ever had before. Yi Beichen was supposed to return home at dawn, but his longing for Jiqing drove him to make the journey through the night and arrive in the early hours of the morning. The house was quiet. Yi Beichen quietly opened the door and entered the bedroom, where Jiqing was sleeping soundly under the covers. Yi Beichen smiled softly as he quietly washed up and got into bed. He pulled back the blanket, warmed himself, and then embraced the person he had been longing for day and night. Yi Beichen's heart was filled with unease, vividly recalling the incident when Jiqing slapped him and pushed him out of bed. Hopefully, today won't be a repeat of that incident, right? He thought to himself. And the person he had been longing for turned over and hugged him of their own accord, since Jiqing's miscarriage. They hadn't been intimate for a long time. Jiqing's initiative stirred Yi Beichen's desires, even though he noticed the woman hugging him was a bit different from Jiqing. But Yi Beichen didn't think much of it. Who else could it be lying in bed with him and Jiqing but Jiqing herself? Yi Beichen overlooked the difference between the woman clinging to him and Jiqing, allowing himself to sink into indulgence without worry. This night was one of indulgence, and also one of abandon. As the first light of dawn streamed in, Yi Beichen, who had been battling all night, gently released the woman in his arms and quietly prepared to get out of bed to make breakfast for the woman he loved. But he froze when he saw the woman's face as he let her go. How could this be? Why was the woman in bed Su Jingjing? Did he miss Yi Beichen rubbed his eyes, and sure enough, Su Jingjing was lying on the bed. Yi Beichen couldn't believe his eyes, so to confirm he wasn't mistaken, he even bit his own arm. Ouch, it hurts. This is real, not a dream. The person sleeping in his own bed is not the one he's been longing for, Jiqing, but Su Jingjing. Why is Su Jingjing in his own home? Where has Jiqing gone? His mind is in chaos, with one question after another piling up. Before he could figure things out, Su Jingjing opened her eyes and gave Yi Beichen a sweet, shy smile. Beichen, I'm yours now. You have to take responsibility for me. Yi Beichen felt only disgust as he looked at this unfamiliar Su Jingjing. Why are you here? Where's Jiqing? Where did Jiqing go? Yi Beichen's eyes were filled with rage. Did you set me up, you shameless creature? I helped you out of kindness. Why are you doing this to me? How am I supposed to explain all this to Jiqing? He roared at Su Jingjing, his face and eyes devoid of any warmth, only fury. Yi Beichen was truly panicked. He knew Jiqing all too well. Jiqing had a strong sense of cleanliness. After sleeping with Su Jingjing, his relationship with Jiqing was truly over. Fury drove him to grab Su Jingjing by the throat. You shameless, despicable creature. Why did you scheme against me? Why? Su Jingjing's flushed face turned pale in an instant. She was pinned by the neck, unable to move, and struggled desperately. She clawed fiercely at Yi Beichen's body, making guttural sounds, just as she thought she was about to suffocate and die. The door was pushed open from outside, and Hao Hao's voice rang out, "Let go, don't hurt my mom." A mother and son share a bond, and Hao Hao immediately rushed over when he saw his mother being choked to the point of near suffocation by Yi Beichen, screaming and pleading to stop. Yi Beichen was consumed by extreme rage. He couldn't understand why Su Jingjing would scheme against him like this. Why is Su Jingjing so shameless? He was just trying to help her out of kindness. And he helped Su Jingjing because her brother saved him. Why would Su Jingjing scheme against me like this without any sense of shame? No wonder Jiqing has been saying that I have an unclear relationship with Su Jingjing and wants a divorce. He always thought Jiqing was making a mountain out of a molehill, fabricating things out of thin air. It turns out he had misjudged Jiqing. Su Jingjing really did harbor such intentions. This despicable and shameless woman, why doesn't she just die? Wrath made Yi Beichen want to kill Su Jingjing, and even as she clawed at his hands to save her own life, leaving them bloodied, he did not let go. Hao Hao lunged forward to bite Yi Beicheng's leg in an attempt to save his mother. In pain, Yi Beicheng kicked out with a powerful kick. A loud scream echoed far and wide as Hao Hao was kicked, flew across the room, hit the wall, bounced back, and then crashed heavily onto the table before falling to the ground. The loud noise alerted the residents of the compound. People rushed over to see what was happening, only to be stunned by the scene before them. The crowd worked together to pull Yi Beichen apart, and Su Jingjing, having narrowly escaped death, gasped for air. Hao Hao lay motionless on the ground, blood continuously pouring from his mouth. As he rolled off the wall, his face hit the corner of a table in the room. One eye was punctured right on the corner of the table. Seeing her son like this, Su Jingjing let out a scream, scrambling over to check on him without even bothering to put on clothes. "Son, don't scare your mom. Somebody, help Hao Hao, save my son." Hao Hao was rushed to the hospital for emergency treatment. He had 2 broken ribs and 1 eye blinded. Su Jingjing wailed uncontrollably in the hospital. The impact of such an incident is too great to suppress. Yi Beichen was placed under house arrest by the military leaders who arrived shortly after. The military leaders were discussing how to deal with Yi Beichen. A week later, Yi Beichen was released. His first words to the leader were, "Where's Qingzi? Where's Jiqing? Have Jiqing come see me?" The leader sighed and handed him the signed divorce report and divorce certificate. "Jiqing has divorced you, and he has left. How is that possible?" "When did she divorce me? I had no idea. This is the divorce report you signed yourself. You should know better than anyone what happened." Yi Beichen clutched his head, swearing he had never signed a divorce report. Never. Where did this signed divorce report come from? He thought carefully and suddenly remembered that Su Jingjing had asked him to sign something one evening before his mission, because Jiqing wanted a divorce. He asked Su Jingjing to apologize and explain. Promising to take care of Su Jingjing and her child, he had been saved by Su Jingjing's brother before, and had promised to take care of her, so in the end, he helped Su Jingjing with one last thing. Su Jingjing proposed buying a house, moving out with her son, and deducting the money from his salary. He thought it was the last time he would interact with Su Jingjing, so he agreed. Later, Su Jingjing brought a house-buying contract for him to sign. Without thinking much, he signed it. Only to realize it wasn't a house purchase agreement but a divorce report between Jiqing and him. Yi Beichen tightly clutched his head, despairingly closing his eyes. He and Jiqing would never have a chance again. Su Jingjing, you shameless thing. It was all her shameless scheming against him. Since this is what Su Jingjing wants, she can wait. He will make Su Jingjing pay for it. After divorcing Yi Beichen, I returned to my parents' side. My parents, brother, and grandmother didn't show the slightest dissatisfaction with me for making the wrong choice. They comforted me and provided me with enough security and love. Not long after returning home, I began preparing for the college entrance exam again. After being married for a few years, I had fallen behind in my studies. To catch up, I read and read every day. Hard work pays off, and I finally got into my dream university through my efforts. 4 years of university flew by, and after graduation, I devoted myself to serving my country. I forgot the unpleasantness of my past life and the pain that Yi Beichen and Su Jingjing had inflicted on me. Time is the best healer. 2 years into my job, at the age of 30, I met a man I liked and re-entered the marriage hall. We held a grand wedding, and I wore the wedding dress of my dreams. My husband loves me deeply and gives me the best of everything. We had all the wedding jewelry and even went abroad for our honeymoon. Married life was incredibly sweet. My husband only had eyes for me and took meticulous care of me. I lived a very happy life. A few months after the wedding, I became pregnant, and 10 months later, I gave birth to a lovely son. My husband was very astute, taking advantage of the reform and opening up policy. He gave up his stable job to start a business. His business continued to expand, covering both the North and South. On our 10th wedding anniversary, he threw me a grand banquet. After having a few too many drinks at the banquet, I stepped out for some fresh air and bumped into a janitor cleaning the restroom. The janitor, dressed in work clothes and with deeply wrinkled, aged features, exclaimed in surprise, "Jiqing, is that really you?" I squinted at the janitor in front of me, unable to recall ever knowing her. The janitor stared at me intently, her lips trembling and her hands shaking. "Jiqing, it's you. You're living so well. Who are you?" I asked. Utterly confused. Did you do this on purpose? She was furious, glaring at me with malice. The fierce glint in her eyes felt somewhat familiar. I studied her carefully for a while, finally forming a vague guess, though I still hesitated to confirm it. Are you Su Jingjing? What are you doing here? I haven't kept up with any news about Su Jingjing and Yibeichen all these years. My family never mentioned anything about them. And I always thought that even if Yibeichen couldn't rise to prominence like in my previous life, he should still be holding the rank of Major General, right? Given his status, marrying Su Jingjing, she wouldn't have ended up as a janitor cleaning toilets. My surprise humiliated Su Jingjing. She screamed at me, "How dare you ask me, you wicked woman, it's all your fault." Su Jingjing pointed at me with trembling fingers. "If it weren't for you giving me the key and letting me stay at your place back then, how could I have ended up like this?" "Oh," I asked innocently, looking completely innocent. "I only gave the key to Su Jingjing. I didn't tell her to stay at Yibeichen's house, and given Su Jingjing and Yibeichen's relationship, isn't it natural for them to live together? Why does Su Jingjing seem so furious as if I had framed her?" "You did this on purpose, didn't you, you despicable woman? You set me up. Made me move into your house and have a relationship with Bei Xing, then Bei Xing grew to despise me, lost everything, and my child became crippled." Su Jingjing's gaze was filled with such hatred that she wanted to tear me apart. "Jiqing, how could you be so malicious and set me up?" From Su Jingjing's accusations, I managed to piece together some of the story. I couldn't help but laugh. "What did I design you for? Did I make you strip naked and hook up with Yibeichen? Besides, didn't you keep saying that Yibeichen loves you? I've already let you two be together, so you should be happy, right?" Su Jingjing's expression seemed to freeze, as if she had fallen into a memory. "It shouldn't be like this, my life shouldn't be like this. Beichen was the top dog in his previous life, and in my past life, my child and I lived well. We lived in luxury, my son had a great job, and I was always respected." I interrupted her. "Is that so? Then why did things turn out badly?" "It's all your fault, you orchestrated all of this." Su Jingjing blames me for her situation with Yibeichen. "You despicable woman, Beichen's future was ruined because of you. He was fired and sent back to his hometown, and now he has nothing." I smirked. "So it's not true love, you wouldn't abandon Beichen just because he has nothing, would you?" "No, I didn't give up on him, even though he left my son crippled. I didn't give up on him, I forgave him, spared him from prison, I married him. I planned to grow old with him, but he refused. He hates me to death, he torments me." Su Jingjing was in tears. "I'm living in hell now, beaten and scolded by him every day. He hates me for breaking you two apart. He says I have to atone for it for the rest of my life." I didn't have the time or energy to listen to Su Jingjing's complaints, so I turned around and left. After all, the path is one's own choice. Su Jingjing chose Yibeichen, and she has to face all the consequences, after all. This was all part of her meticulously calculated plan. Story 2, By the Lake in Nameless Lake Park, Shin City, 1997, the woman grabbed my hand and gave me a challenging smile. As she exerted force, I did the same, and in an instant, we swapped positions. I returned her challenging smile, using her momentum against her, as I fell into the lake. She was pulled in with me. "Help, someone has fallen into the water, quick, save them," someone shouted from the shore. I rolled my eyes. Who's being such a busybody, dragging the woman who was desperately swimming towards the shore? We quickly moved away from the shore. I ran. "What are you doing? Let me go." I grinned at her, shouting for help, and flailed my arms wildly. Soon, the woman was pushed into the lake by my flailing. When the woman's head emerged from the water, white, before she could finish, I pushed her back into the lake with my desperate flailing. After several attempts, someone finally jumped into the lake. Feeling the woman's struggling weaken, I still didn't stop, feeling immensely satisfied. In this new life, I will settle scores and avenge grievances. Hello everyone, welcome to Sparkling Love Notes. I remember in my previous life, it was also around this time when Winnie returned from abroad the next day and invited me to this park, staging a fall into the water and dragging me, a non-swimmer, into the lake. Lu Yuan, my husband of just 1 month, came running. As I desperately reached out to him for help, he grabbed the woman and pulled her out of the water first. After I had swallowed a bellyful of water, someone else pulled me out. As I was bent over, vomiting water, the woman in a white dress, draped in my husband's army green shirt, walked up to me and slapped me twice. I ran, if it weren't for Brother Lu's sake. This incident of you pushing me into the water wouldn't be so easily resolved, I retorted. I didn't push you, you fell in yourself and even pulled me down with you. Byron, do you think everyone is a fool? So many people saw it, let them tell us what really happened. It was indeed the woman in the blue dress who pushed the woman in the white dress. The words of the onlookers completely pinned me to the pillar of shame for pushing someone into the water. I looked at my husband Lu Yuan. Lu Yuan, believe me, I really didn't push Winnie, but my husband didn't believe me at all. Byron, stop making a scene, I'll take Winnie to the hospital first, you go home and change your clothes, then go to the hospital to apologize to Winnie. I watched helplessly as my husband, supporting a woman who was perfectly fine, walked away, and I returned to the family compound, feeling self-conscious and hugging myself, under the strange gazes of everyone, because I refused to apologize. The man gave all my new marriage betrothal money, worth several thousand yuan, and the engagement token at the time, to Winnie as compensation, because she fell into the water. She stayed in the hospital for several days. Since she didn't report it to the police, it's only right to compensate her. I also got a fever, and it lasted for 3 days. I almost burned myself stupid. How can you compare to her? You grew up in a rural area, tough and resilient. While Winnie never experienced hardship and is too delicate, I protested. Who says I'm tough? I may have grown up in the countryside, but my dad and brothers never let me do any farm work. I was pampered too. After my father's military transition, he went to work at the steel factory in our hometown, but a few years ago, the factory laid off workers, and my father, being a highly principled former soldier, volunteered to be laid off to make things easier for the factory leadership. There was a severance package, though not much. It was enough for us. Unfortunately, my eldest brother broke his leg while climbing a mountain. To treat his leg, the family's savings were all spent, but he still ended up with a limp. Life at home became increasingly difficult. Despite how hard life was, my family always spoiled me and never let me work in the fields. They supported me until I finished high school but didn't get into college. It was only then that my father sent me to the Lu family to fulfill the marriage agreement. The moment I first saw Lu Yuan, I was thoroughly impressed. He was handsome, tall, and a soldier. He fulfilled all my fantasies about a perfect partner. Under the insistence of Grandpa Lu, within less than a week of moving to the compound, I married Lu Yuan. That month, I felt so incredibly happy, it was almost unbearable. I always believed that Lu Yuan loved me, but everything changed after when he came back. Stop being unreasonable. I've been so tired taking care of Winnie these past few days. Can't you just let me have some peace? I felt wronged, and I had been running a fever for days, but the man never came to see me. Back then, I felt like the man had changed, but I still clung to hope. To confirm whether he truly loved me, I acted out. Byron, stop it, I can't focus on work like this. If you keep this up, our marriage won't survive. I didn't want a divorce, so I had to calm down. If you make a mistake, you should correct it. I'm doing this all for your own good. If Winnie calls the police, you'll end up in jail. You know that. You're my wife, and I won't stand by and watch you go to jail. Stop targeting Winnie. There's nothing between me and her. You need to trust me. A lasting marriage requires mutual trust between husband and wife. I grew up with her. Her parents died in a car accident a few years ago, and she's just returned from abroad. I felt sorry for her being alone, so I helped her more. If the money's gone, I can earn it again. He handed me his passbook and that month's salary without a word. Back then, I felt I was being a bit unreasonable. Later, when the man consistently handed over his salary on time every month, I felt he loved me. So I devoted myself wholeheartedly, working hard for 20 years, and even when he helped Winnie, I understood him, bearing his children, taking care of his elderly, removing all his worries, so he can focus entirely on his work. He was also ambitious, climbing from a company commander to a division commander in 20 years. Just as he was appointed division commander, I was knocked out. When I woke up, I found my hands bound and myself thrown into an old wooden house, which reeked of a pungent smell. I knew it was the smell of gasoline. Winnie held a lighter in her hand, looking at me with a wild expression. Byron, Brother Lu is now a division commander. It's time for you to leave. I was panicking. Winnie, what are you doing? Do you know this is illegal? Winnie slapped my face, her expression twisted with rage. Breaking the law? You're so naive. You kidnapped me, tried to burn me alive, and I barely escaped. Now you're reaping what you've sown. I was truly terrified. Winnie, don't do anything foolish. If Lu Yuan finds out, he definitely won't let you off the hook. Haha. Byron, You're so ridiculous, even if Brother Lu finds out. He won't do anything to me, he loves me, I protested stubbornly. You're lying, Lu Yuan loves me, he only feels sorry for you and takes care of you as a friend. All these years, Lu Yuan has been giving me his salary, he loves me, haha, Lu Ge loves you. You're really stupid. Over the years, Lu Ge has always been there for me, answering my every call, no matter the time, even if it's late at night and you two are in the middle of your marital life. All I need is a phone call to make you stop. Hearing Wen Yi's words, I suddenly remembered that time when I was in bed with Lu Yuan, and he got a phone call and rushed out in a hurry. No, not once or twice, but many times. I always thought it was because of a mission at the military unit. I always understood and supported him, but the truth turned out to be this. Hearing the woman say that, I felt like a clown being toyed with by this woman. Back then, when I pulled you into the water, you really thought Brother Lu didn't know it was me, didn't you? He knew I could swim, yet he still saved me first. To calm me down, he made you pay back all the betrothal gifts. He may have given you all his salary, but every time he went on a mission, he gave me his allowances and bonuses, which were far more than his salary. Over the years, has he ever taken you to the movies? Has he ever bought you a new piece of clothing? You don't know, do you? He took me, and he bought me lots of new clothes. With every word when he spoke, I felt a bit more pain. I was becoming frantic. You're lying, Lu Yuan doesn't love you, he just pities you, you're deluding yourself. Which man would neglect his own lover to accompany another woman? Let me tell you, Brother Lu took me to the movies and shopping. We didn't do that couple stuff, but I'm way happier than you. I laughed, mocking my own stupidity for being played by both of them, but I won't give up. So what? She's just a homewrecker who lets people touch and hold her. If she really loved you, why wouldn't she sleep with you? The woman was furious, straddling me and venting her rage wildly on my face. You idiot. You've monopolized Brother Lu for 20 years. Now that I'm divorced, it's time for you to give him back to me. After venting, the woman lit a lighter. As the woman slowly backed away, I was truly terrified. I gave in. I'll divorce Lu Yuan. I'll make room for you. There's no need for us to end up like this. Haha, too late. Now that Brother Lu is a division commander, how could he possibly abandon his wife? By Ran. Only if you die can Brother Lu marry me without any burden. Go ahead and die. As the lighter was thrown onto the gasoline, the fire immediately ignited. At the same time, I heard Lu Yuan shout. I screamed at the top of my lungs. Lu Yuan, save me. The woman also screamed. Brother Lu, save me. Bai Ran has gone mad. She's trying to burn me alive. I saw the man rush in like a madman, but when he saw the woman on the outskirts, he didn't even glance my way. He just picked her up and rushed out. In that moment, I knew it was time to wake up. I had deceived myself for 20 years, and it was time to break free. Watching the burning clothes, I closed my eyes in despair. To my surprise, when I opened my eyes again, I had returned to the year I was 6. That was the year my father, Bai Dashan, was seriously injured shielding Lu Yuan's grandfather from a bullet and had just transferred to a local factory. It was also the year my marriage to Lu Yuan was arranged. I was 6 then, and Lu Yuan was 10. It's been 12 years in a flash. I arrived alone at the military compound just like in my previous life. Though about 10 days later than last time, I intervened when Grandpa Lu told Lu Yuan to file the marriage report immediately, so I'm still his fiancé instead of his wife of a month. The reason I came to this compound was twofold: 1, to retrieve the betrothal token, and 2, to settle the score from my past life. As the man approached, I shouted for help while pushing the woman back into the water again. The woman, dazed and confused, had swallowed a lot of water before finally lifting her head out of the water. She weakly called out, Lu Yuan, save me. The man was quick and efficient, swimming over to us in no time. Without hesitation, he wrapped his arm around the woman, protecting her with one hand while paddling with the other, heading toward the shore. I was right beside him, yet he completely ignored me. My heart ached with sorrow. What was I even hoping for? Just as I was about to shout according to the plan, someone grabbed my arm. Comrade, don't worry, I will definitely get you out of here. I was momentarily stunned, a bit annoyed, but quickly snapped out of it and swam towards the shore with the man's help. Seeing the man looking at me suspiciously, I belatedly stopped treading water. At the moment I stopped treading water, I clearly felt the man's movement pause, but soon he continued swimming with me. The man was in great shape and practically climbed ashore at the same time as Lu Yuan. After getting ashore, the man picked up the clothes left on the ground and handed them to me. cover yourself. I glanced at the man who didn't dare to look me in the eye, reached out, took the clothes, and wrapped them around myself, while covering my delicate figure. It also blocked those unwelcome gazes. I gave the man a slight smile, thank you. Then I walked over to the woman who was still spitting water and gave her a firm slap. Wen-yi, you vicious woman. You knew I couldn't swim and still pushed me into the river. Lu Yuan, who was supporting the woman, was startled by my action and then looked furious. Byran, you. Before the man could finish speaking, I slapped him across the face. Lu Yuan, I'm your fiancé. You refused to save your fiancé and instead saved another woman. Are you even a man? After saying that, I felt one slap wasn't enough. So I raised my hand and slapped him again, making my palm tingle. The man might have been stunned by my slap, or perhaps he was feeling guilty because of what I said. He remained silent, clenching his fists and looking down. The woman who had just come up for air wasn't having it. Byran, you've gone too far. It was you who kept pulling me down, making me drown, and that's why Lu Deji had to rush to save me. Before the woman could finish her sentence, I unceremoniously slapped her again. Wen-yi, if it weren't for the sake of my fiancé Lu Yuan, I wouldn't let this push me into the water incident go. I advise you to behave and stay out of trouble. I didn't push you, you jumped in yourself and pulled me down with you. You're deliberately framing me. When he shouted angrily, I can't even swim, and I'd risk my life just to frame you. Are you treating everyone like fools? I turned to look at the people around me, my eyes brimming with tears that I stubbornly refused to let fall. Comrades, we just fell into the water. I wonder if anyone saw what happened. Could you please share what you saw? Was it me who pushed her, or was it her who pushed me? I just saw this lady in white push the lady in blue, and then somehow they both fell into the water. A bystander pointed at Wen-yi and said, I saw it too. Me too, I saw it. I looked at Wen-yi, whose face was filled with shock, and a fleeting smile crossed my lips. It truly is a case of karma coming full circle. Lu Yuan seemed somewhat incredulous, perhaps never expecting his childhood friend to do something like this. When he saw the man's bad expression and immediately started crying softly, speaking in a weak and delicate voice, Brother Lu, we grew up together. Don't you know what kind of person I am? Believe me. Byran fell in by herself and even pulled me down with her. Just now in the water, she pushed me under the lake several times, making me choke on a lot of water. If you hadn't saved me, I might have drowned. Everyone was far away, and it might be due to the angle that they misunderstood I pushed her. Brother Lu, you must believe me. The woman wept bitterly. I saw a flicker of pain in Lu Yuan's eyes. Byran, Wen-yi and I grew up together. She has always been kind and gentle. I believe she didn't mean it. I'll investigate this matter, but for now, let's go back. Wen-yi inhaled water and needs to go to the hospital. As soon as the woman played the victim, the man wavered. In my previous life, I had pleaded with him so earnestly for so long, yet he was convinced I had pushed her. Reflecting on it, I was so foolish in my past life, wasting 20 years on such a man, only to lose my life in the end. It wasn't worth it at all. Seeing Lu Yuan helping the woman to leave, I quickly stepped in front of them and jumped to give the man a big slap. I winced and shook my hand. How could this man's face be so hard? My hand is stinging from the slap. The man, having been slapped 3 times in quick succession, finally lost his temper. Byran, what are you doing? Don't go too far. After he finished speaking, I jumped up and unceremoniously gave him another big slap. Lu Yuan, I know you're doing this for my sake. Deliberately supporting Wen-yi so everyone can see that Wen-yi is seducing you. It's ruining her reputation. But this is wrong. I can't stand by and watch you make a mistake for my sake. You'd better take your hand off Wen-yi. If you push her too far and she accuses you of seducing her, that would be a huge loss. Hearing this, Lu Yuan awkwardly let go of the woman he was supporting. At the same time, I heard an inappropriate muffled laugh. I looked around and noticed the man who just saved me glaring at Lu Yuan with disdain. When he saw me looking at him, he turned his gaze towards me. Sorry, it wasn't intentional. The man's deep voice was strangely intoxicating. I gave the man a sharp look and continued to stare at Lu Yuan. You're a soldier. You can't take revenge on her like this. Do you know how this makes it look like Wen-yi is a bad woman who destroys other people's marriages? I don't need you to make such a big sacrifice. Lu Yuan, his face swollen, whispered harshly at me. Byran, what are you talking nonsense about? Wen-yi followed closely behind, her face also swollen. Byran, how could you be so disgusting? Lu Dage and I grew up together like siblings. I looked shocked and said, what? You mean you've been like this since you were kids, always hugging and holding each other? Maybe my words were too harsh, or maybe Lu Yuan felt too embarrassed. He pointed at me, then whispered to the woman, "You go first. Go to the hospital and check." The woman glared at me angrily, then ran off crying. I shouted at the woman's retreating figure, remember this, if it weren't for the sake of my fiancé, Lu Yuan, I would have called the police." By ran, stop messing around and come home, that's your home, not mine. Lu Yuan gritted his teeth, what exactly do you want? Cancel the engagement. What do you take the Lu family for? No way. Watching the man's retreating back, I shouted loudly, Lu Yuan. You're just wearing a tank top, and all the other female comrades have seen you. Do you even care about your dignity? Seeing the man stumble, the resentment in my heart seemed to dissipate a bit. Looking up again, I had a sad expression. With teary eyes, I said to those around me, today, I'm truly grateful to all of you for standing as witnesses, otherwise, I would have been wrongfully accused to death. I know I shouldn't have brought the token to force Lu Yuan to fulfill the marriage contract. I know I shouldn't have insisted on joining them when I saw my fiancé taking that woman to the movies, resulting in them not even getting to watch the film. I know I shouldn't have upset them when I saw my fiancé and that woman holding hands while strolling in the park. I know I shouldn't have rushed up to ask my fiancé to buy me something too when I saw him buying new clothes for that woman. And as a result, no clothes were bought, and both of them ended up unhappy. I know I shouldn't have lost my temper and slapped them when I saw my fiancé save that woman first instead of me, but he's my fiancé, I can't swim, and I'm scared, tears threatening to fall, looking as pitiful as can be, as heartbroken as can be. Oh, this girl is so pitiful, why would anyone marry such a man? That woman isn't any better. She knew he had a fiancé, yet she still tried to get close to him. Exactly. That man is such a scoundrel. From the looks of him, he seems to be a soldier. Are soldiers really that unreliable? Dear girl, that man is your fiancé, but since you're not married yet, I suggest you don't go through with it. I know plenty of handsome young men, and I can introduce you to someone much better than him. That woman isn't a good person either. She knew the man had a partner, yet she still tried to get involved with him. She's nothing but a homewrecker. With teary eyes, I listened to everyone accusing Lu Yuan, and when watching the middle-aged man leave, knowing this farce should come to an end, she remembered that middle-aged man. He was Lu Yuan's political commissar in the army. In her previous life, it was the commissar who saw Lu Yuan act justly, not shielding her, the vicious woman who pushed someone into the water, and had always held him in high regard. Within a month, Lu Yuan was promoted, thanks to Lu Leoi's connections. Lu Yuan was able to rise so quickly, in this lifetime. After today's incident, I wonder how the political commissar views Lu Yuan. I'm really sorry for taking up everyone's time because of my matter. Let's disperse. After the crowd dispersed, I walked out of the park. Lu Yuan is your fiancé, and you treat him like that. I turned around to look at the man following me. What's it to you, comrade? Your attitude is not right. I just saved you. Is this how you treat your savior? Who cares if you saved me? My original plan was to scream at Lu Yuan in the water, accusing him of neglecting his fiancée for another woman. Then I would just sink into the lake. That would have been more thrilling, better illustrating the man's lack of responsibility, and more clearly showing that Lu Yuan is a jerk. But this man had to meddle and pull me out, ruining my original plan and forcing her to resort to playing the victim for sympathy. This is really saving a thankless wretch. When are you going to return my clothes? I bought these specifically to look relatively new. I'm feeling quite frustrated, really tempted to just toss the clothes in the man's face without a second thought. But thinking back to my previous life when I returned to the compound soaked, Lu Yuan's wife is so shameless. Showing up like this for who? Do keep an eye on your own man, don't let him be tempted away. Seductress, shameless, slut. If it weren't for Sister Zhang from the compound taking pity on me and covering me with a coat, I might have faced even more verbal abuse. As I gazed at the delicate curves beneath the clothes, I couldn't help but sigh, realizing I had made a mistake. I forgot to dry the clothes by the riverside. It's unrealistic to return the clothes to the man at this moment. Give me an address, and I'll take it back to the compound, wash it, and then deliver it to you. Guest house of the 3rd Regiment. I was taken aback. It was the guest house of Lu Yuan's military unit. It was because of his words that I took a closer look at the man. Short hair, big eyes, a high nose bridge, thin lips, wearing only a white tank top since he gave his shirt to me. His arms were muscular, his pectorals bulging. Standing over 6 feet tall, he wore slacks and big leather shoes. His posture as straight as a young poplar. The man met my gaze without flinching. It's not that I have no shame, you're the one who looked me over. I gave him a sidelong glance. Are you a soldier? Let me introduce myself. I'm from the 3rd Regiment of Division A, Chin Ching. I was momentarily stunned upon hearing that name. Okay, got it. I'll wash the clothes first and deliver them to you later. I'll be staying here for a week. I'll deliver them tomorrow. Chin Ching's lips curled up as he watched the woman walk away. Zhao Yi had been looking for Chin Ching for a while. Seeing the man staring straight ahead, he followed his gaze and saw the back of a woman. Hey, stop staring, or your eyeballs will pop out. Look at you. I just left for a moment, and you're already down by the river fishing. How are you going to meet that female comrade like this? Chin Ching smiled. Yes, I caught a big fish, TCH. Who are you trying to fool? Hurry up and change your clothes in the car. Listen, this woman was introduced by the general's wife. You must go and meet her. This is an assignment. You're not getting any younger. If you don't sort out your personal life soon, they might just start arranging marriages for us. I have an urgent matter to attend to. I can't go. You go instead. Watching the man dash off in the distance with just a few steps, Zhao Yi slapped his thigh in frustration. You jerk, everyone's here for you. And you just leave me here alone. What's that supposed to mean? You want me to face 2 women alone? Are you trying to shorten my life or something? As I was heading to the bus stop with my head down, Byran, get in, I'm just going back to the guest house. I'll give you a ride. Seeing my disheveled state, I didn't refuse. Not taking a free ride would be punishing myself. The car was driving smoothly. Since you hate Lu Yuan so much, why don't you just cancel the engagement? You think an engagement is a game that can be cancelled on a whim. I came here with the intention of cancelling the engagement, but I wasn't willing to so easily let that scumbag and his mistress have their way. Thinking of the injustices and wrongful death of my past life, I felt an inexplicable sense of melancholy. Having been reborn for over a decade, I constantly reminded myself to stay away from Lu Yuan in this life and live well. Despite self-persuading for over a decade, I still couldn't let it go. I feel like I can't get over that mental hurdle. You can't enjoy life fully if you can't get past that hurdle. This grudge must be avenged. Lu Yuan and Wen Yi, that despicable couple, must be punished. Nothing is impossible for a determined person. I feel you've succeeded halfway today. I didn't expect Chin Ching to be so perceptive. Don't worry about things that don't concern you. Returned directly to the Lu family at the housing compound. As soon as I entered the house, I saw Lu's mother sitting on the sofa with a furious expression. Seeing me come in, she raised her hand to slap me. I blocked it with my hand. Lu's mother shouted at me, "Country bumpkins are so uncouth. If it weren't for the old master, I would never have accepted you as my daughter-in-law. Do you know you're the daughter-in-law of the Lu family? Everything you do reflects on the Lu family. What face does the Lu family have left after what you did today? Lu Yuan and Wen Yi grew up together, yet you dared to slander them like that. If you want to enter our Lu family's door, you must publish an apology in the newspaper to clear Lu Yuan and Wen Yi's names. Otherwise, get out of the Lu family." I raised an eyebrow. In my previous life, I returned home soaking wet. And this woman not only accused me of bringing shame to the Lu family but also called me vicious and unfit to be a daughter-in-law of the Lu family. If it weren't for my stubborn refusal to leave and my persistence in waiting until Grandpa Lu returned, this old woman would have kicked me out that very day. If you're so concerned about your reputation, then I'll treat it like a shoe pad, I said. This auntie, your ability to twist the truth is impressive. What did you call me? Lu's mother looked incredulous. Listen up, old lady, your son is my fiancé. And when I fell into the water, he didn't save me but went straight to save Wen Yi, who can swim, in front of so many people, disregarding the life and death of his fiancé, and getting all touchy-feely with another woman. What is that called? That's called being unfaithful to the marriage, knowing full well that he's already engaged, yet he still hugs and cuddles with Wen Yi, letting so many people see it, making her look like the bad woman who's ruining our engagement. They grew up together, sharing such deep bonds. How could he bear to ruin her reputation like that? That's called being unfaithful to a friend. Your son is unfaithful and unjust, and you dare to come and lecture me. I don't want a man like that who is unfaithful and unjust. Let's just call off the engagement between our families, return the betrothal gift from the Bai family, and I'll leave immediately. Lu's mother was so furious with me that she was like a raging lion. Byran, you said those things by the lake, and now you want to cancel the engagement. How could that be? Wouldn't that make my son truly become the person you described? No way you're backing out of this engagement now, Only if you clear your name can you withdraw. This old woman wants to protect her son's reputation and also dissolve our engagement, while throwing all the blame on me. How shameless. Listen, Auntie, you're dreaming if you think it's that easy. I suggest you go back and keep dreaming. Since you don't want to dissolve the engagement, I can just as well refuse to do so. I was originally thinking of handling this situation with Winnie and the Liu family delicately, but since you refuse to dissolve the engagement, I think it's better to call the police. After all, the Liu family is not someone to be trifled with. After saying that, I went straight upstairs. Having stood up to Liu's mother, I felt a bit better. I know Liu's mother cares most about the reputation of the Liu family. She wouldn't allow me to call the police. If word gets out that her son didn't save his fiancée but instead saved another woman, the Liu family's reputation would be ruined. In my previous life, she looked down on me for my lack of education, for lowering the Liu family's status, and for not being able to support Liu Yuan. She always reminded me not to bring shame to the Liu family with everything I did. For the sake of the Liu family's reputation, I endured having my man at the beck and call of other women, never daring to make a fuss. For the Liu family's reputation, I swallowed my pride for 20 years. After all the trouble the heavens went through to let me be reborn, the Liu family's reputation has nothing to do with me anymore. I was upstairs packing while keeping an eye on the time. This incident has made it impossible for me to stay at the Liu family's place. Less than an hour later, my door was pushed open. Winnie, I've come to admit my mistake. Today, it was my fault. You can punish me however you want, but let's handle this privately and don't call the police. I couldn't help but laugh at the man's audacity. For that woman, Winnie, he's really going all out. I raised my hand and gave him 2 hard slaps. You're the one who said you'd let me punish you however I want. The man's face was flushed, and his fists were clenched tightly. We've fought, we've argued, let's just drop the whole calling the police thing. I'll submit the marriage report tomorrow. I scoffed, trying to control me with marriage. You're overthinking it. Do you really think I'd still marry you after all this? Byran, our engagement was arranged by our elders. It was decided by your grandfather and my father. It's not something to be taken lightly. Today's incident was my fault, and I apologize. I only saved Winnie first because she was in serious trouble after choking on water. I didn't know she pushed you in. I was afraid something might happen to her, and you wouldn't be able to explain it. I never expected a man to say something like that. Did he really resort to psychological tactics just to stop me from calling the police? If they want to play, I'll play along a bit longer. Not calling the police is fine, but she pushed me. I choked on water, and I was scared. She needs to compensate me for the emotional distress. I won't ask for much. 5,000 yuan will do. Now, leave me alone. I need to rest. The next day, I roughly bundled up my dried clothes and headed to the military guest house. Dropped the clothes at the front desk. These are Chen Cheng's clothes. Could you please return them to him? The receptionist at the guest house quickly agreed. Sure, I'll deliver them when he returns. I could see the fiery light in the girl's eyes. That night, I found a quiet spot to call my older brothers, only to see a man and a woman admiring the moonlight. Brother Liu, 5,000 yuan is too much. I don't have that kind of money. I really didn't push her. She fell by herself. She has witnesses. If she really reports it, you'll end up in jail. I have over 2,000 in my passbook. I withdrew it all today. Go back and try to gather more, but I'm innocent. Liu Yuan was feeling irritable. I know, don't worry, once I get my salary and bonus, I'll pay you back. It's all my fault for troubling brother Liu. If only my parents were still alive. Liu Yuan felt even more irritated after hearing this. He didn't know what was wrong with him. Ever since Byran had hit him, scolded him, and looked down on him by the lake yesterday, he seemed to feel that he had gone too far, but he was just used to it. When he felt extremely wronged as she noticed Liu Yuan was distracted. Brother Liu, what's wrong? Why aren't you saying anything? Do you not want to take care of me anymore? No, I promised your parents I would take care of you. How about we go to the movies this weekend? Liu Yuan was about to refuse, when he started crying grievance ly. I knew it, people leave, and the tea gets cold. Just go. You don't need to care about me anymore. Let me be bullied to death by others. I feel like when he is made of water. Tears come at the drop of a hat. How could such a delicate woman become so vicious? Liu Yuan felt a pang of sympathy. This was a childhood friend. Don't cry anymore, or your eyes will swell up. Alright, I'll take you to the movies this weekend. When he broke into a smile through her tears and then suddenly threw herself into the man's arms. Brother Liu, I knew you weren't the kind of person who forgets kindness. Lu Yuan was momentarily stunned and immediately tried to push the woman away, but she held on tightly. He couldn't manage to push her off. I'm engaged. This kind of behavior will lead to misunderstandings. Although she had already decided to cancel the engagement and this visit was meant to get revenge, seeing the two of them hugging still left her feeling a bit stifled. Starting over again, how could she possibly allow herself to endure such grievance? I burst out from the shadows, grabbed the woman by the hair, and yanked her out of the man's embrace. You shameless woman. You're at it again, seducing my fiancé. Are you that desperate for a man? Then, without hesitation, I delivered a few hard slaps, until the man caught my hand mid-strike. Let go. Byran, stop fighting. If you want to hit someone, hit me. It's not what you think. I have nothing going on with Wenyi. I came to help get the compensation money. Hearing the man's words, I actually let go of Wenyi's hand. Byran, I'm going to fight you. Wenyi was furious, not caring about her image, and swung her hand at my face. Without hesitation, I kicked, and the woman was knocked to the ground. Wenyi, Lu Yuan is still my fiancé. Don't you dare flirt with him all the time before we break off our engagement. If I catch you doing it again, I'll beat you up every time I see you. This place may be remote, but my voice is loud enough to be heard several hundred meters away. Of course, the military families and soldiers who were still out digesting their food heard my shout. People are gradually gathering towards us. You're lying, I didn't. If you hadn't thrown yourself into my fiancé's arms, those who know would say you have no shame, and those who don't might think my fiancé has questionable morals. Wanting to have his cake and eat it too, keeping the home flag flying while enjoying the colorful flags outside, when he looked at the gathering crowd, realizing she wouldn't get any advantage, and covered her face as she ran away. Lu Yuan pulled me towards the Lu family home. Byran, let's talk back at home. I was dragged back to the Lu family. Only when we entered the Lu family's door did Lu Yuan let go of my hand. Seeing the bruises on my wrist, I slapped the man's face repeatedly. Watching the man's restrained expression suddenly felt incredibly dull. Lu's mother pointed at me with trembling fingers. Call off the engagement. Byran, you shrew, get out of the Lu family, you country bumpkin. How dare you hit my son? I went upstairs, came down with a leather suitcase, and slapped the gold lock in my hand on the table. Here's your family's token. Give me the Bai family's token, and I'll leave immediately. Fine. You just wait. Lu's mother turned to go back to her room. But Lu Yuan stopped her. Mom, I'm not calling off the engagement. I'll submit the marriage report tomorrow. You're crazy, marrying such a shrew. I don't agree. Mom, it's my fault. Even if you were wrong, she shouldn't have hit you. What kind of fiancé does that? Call off the engagement. You and Winnie grew up together, so it's perfect to marry her instead. Mom, stop talking nonsense. There's nothing between Winnie and me. I just promised Uncle Wen to take care of her. I was thoroughly fed up listening to the conversation between the mother and son. The resentment in my heart had truly dissipated. I didn't want to waste any more time here. I went straight to the military guest house. Before I even reached the gate, Lu Yuan caught up with me. Byran, you are my fiancé. It's not right for you to live outside. I've decided to submit our marriage report tomorrow. Lu Yuan, can't you understand plain speech? We're no longer engaged. Stop bothering me. I couldn't break free, and it looked like I was about to be dragged away by the man. This is a new society that values free love. Why is Captain Lu forcing that female comrade? Chin Ching emerged from the corner, a cigarette dangling from his lips. This is between me and my fiancé. No outsiders need to get involved. Chin Ching looked completely undisciplined, not at all like a soldier. Byran, are you his fiancé? No. Captain Lu, Byran said no, and I suggest you let go, otherwise. I wouldn't mind using my rank to order you. Lu Yuan had no choice but to say, Byran, I know you're still angry, and I apologize again. I'll call Dad later to see if I can arrange a good job for my older brother and second brother. I was so frustrated that I shouted, get out. In my previous life, I begged him countless times to see if he could find jobs for my older brothers. Until my death, my brothers' jobs were still not secured. In this life, my two older brothers are successful in their careers, so where do I need him? Okay, I'm leaving. Get some rest, and I'll come see you tomorrow. I really can't figure it out. Does Lu Yuan have a masochistic tendency? He must have been slapped at least 10 times in the past few days. Right. Lu Yuan finally left. I went to the front desk to check in, and that's when I ran into Chin Ching at the stair entrance. The man grabbed my suitcase in one go. Which floor? Third floor. Did you really call off the engagement? What's it to you? I didn't provoke you, and I even saved you. You don't have to be so cold to me. The next morning, I went to the Liu family and, amidst Mrs. Liu's curses, retrieved the ancestral jade bracelet of the Bai family, an old pit ice-type emerald jade bangle with full green color. In my previous life, Liu Yuan gave it to Winnie as compensation, and now it has finally returned to me. Stepping out, I ran into Winnie again, who handed me a wad of cash, 5,000, not a penny less. Watching her look of distress, I found it amusing. It's not even her money, why the heartache? I packed the money, smiled at her, and said, we're even now. The past is gone with the wind, never to return. It's time for me to let go of the past and start living anew. I took a taxi to the train station and bought a ticket home for next Monday. In the few days left, I plan to explore the city thoroughly, not for any other reason, but to pay tribute to my past self. After leaving, I may never return to this city again. I walked down the small paths I used to frequent and took the buses I used to ride. Liu Yuan comes to the guest house to see me every day, and I find it utterly tiresome. Is this guy sick or what? The last day I left here happened to be a weekend. Chen Qing invited me to watch a movie at the military cinema, so I agreed because I hadn't been to the military cinema in my previous life for so many years. As luck would have it, I ran into Liu Yuan and Winnie again on the road. They were walking side by side in front of Chen Qing and me. Brother Liu, Bai Ran is truly greedy and vicious. She fell into the water herself, yet she insists on blaming me and even hit us. She's nothing but a shrew. Winnie, it's all in the past now. No matter who was right or wrong, let's not bring it up again. Bai Ran is my fiancé, and I've already submitted the marriage report. She will be your sister-in-law in the future. Brother Liu, how could you submit the marriage report? Aside from being a little good-looking, what else does she have that matches you? She's so vicious and bad, you don't even like her. Are you really going to sacrifice your own happiness just to repay a debt of gratitude? Winnie, Bai Ran will be my wife, so stop belittling her from now on. I gritted my teeth. Does this jerk not understand human language? The engagement is off, yet he's still filing for marriage. I wasn't planning to hold it against him anymore, but he managed to disgust me. I quickly walked up to the two of them. Without a word, I gave the man a big slap. Bai Ran, you shrew, what are you doing? Liu Yuan didn't expect to run into Bai Ran. Bai Ran, don't misunderstand. I've already submitted my marriage report. The reason I'm accompanying Winnie to the movies is to explain things to her. I don't want you two to keep fighting. Shameless. We've already called off the engagement. Stop spreading rumors that I'm still your fiancé. It's holding me back from finding someone else. I feel sick. I regret it. Why did I even come to the movies? This dog of a man is the most heartbreaking. Compared to Wen Yi's malice, I turned and left. Liu Yuan wanted to chase after, but was firmly held back by Wen Yi's grip on his sleeve. I walked a bit too quickly, feeling both thirsty and hot, staring at the shop in front of me. Boss, give me a soda. 2 sodas, I mean, it's a bit rude to stand me up in front of me, isn't it? I felt a bit awkward, forgetting about Chen Qing. Chen Qing paid, took the sodas from the boss, and handed one to me. Here, have a drink. I can't accept something for nothing. I'll buy my own. Since you helped me with my laundry, I'll treat you to a soda. He unceremoniously shoved the soda into my hand. It would be nice if the clothes were ironed. I was speechless, gave him a dirty look, and said, you're thinking too much. I see you were having a great time just now. Does your hand hurt? I ignored him and walked towards the bus stop. The man was persistent. We agreed to watch a movie, and I already bought the tickets. It would be a waste not to go. I stopped, then looked at the man with a look of pity. I remember reading in the military newspaper in my previous life about Chen Qing, the youngest regimental commander in the Beijing military district. Unfortunately, he had bad luck and was killed in a mission just 2 years after becoming the commander. Regardless, this man saved me. Even if he ended up causing more trouble, I can't deny the fact that he saved me. Instead of talking, go back and train harder. Only through rigorous training will you have a better chance of survival when facing the enemy. The man probably didn't expect me to say that. He was momentarily stunned, then grinned. His wheat-colored skin contrasted with his big white teeth, gleaming brightly. You're worried about me. Don't worry, I'm tough as nails. I'm heading back tomorrow. In all these years in the military, I haven't seen a movie yet. You promised. So you can't go back on your word, right? I felt that men were as pitiful as they had been in my previous life. I nodded. Chen Qing was very happy. Just buy some snacks to eat during the movie. The first time I went to the military district cinema, I found it wasn't much different from the ones outside, perhaps to make up for the movies I missed out on in my previous life. After my second brother's entrepreneurial success, I would run to the cinema every week to watch films. A movie lasts over an hour, and as I was leaving, I was surprised to see Lu Yuan and Wenyi at the exit again. I was particularly astonished. How could these two have the audacity to keep watching movies? Lu Yuan was also very surprised to see me and quickly walked over. It's perfect timing for us to go shopping at the mall. Our marriage report might be approved in the next couple of days. I chuckled, thinking about shopping. All the money went to Wenyi. So what are we supposed to buy with? But this doesn't concern me, Lu Yuan. Can't you understand plain speech? We're already broken off the engagement, so why are you still filing a marriage report? It's utterly ridiculous. There are too many people here. Don't push me to the point of getting physical. It's disgusting. Chen watched the young girl give someone a piece of her mind with a smile. Byran, thank you for accompanying me to the movies. To show my gratitude, I'd like to invite you to dinner. Would you do me the honor? Seeing Lu Yuan like a stubborn sticker, I didn't hesitate to follow Chen away. I'm returning to my unit tomorrow. Can I have your phone number? I don't have. Just as I was about to say I don't have a phone, a tick-tock-tick sound suddenly came from my bag. I awkwardly fished my phone out of my bag, saw my second brother's call on the screen, and without hesitation, pressed the reject button. Seeing this, Chen took my phone without a word and started fiddling with it. He handed me the phone only after I heard the tick-tock sound coming from him. I glanced at the phone and noticed a new contact named Chen. This is my number. You can reach me anytime if you need anything. I nodded half-heartedly. What's the point of staying in touch with someone I'll never meet again? My second brother called again. I pressed the answer button. Listen, little sis, when are you coming back? Your admission letter has been here for nearly a month. It's Yen University. Dad said we're throwing a big banquet. You need to come back quickly. How can we have the celebration without the main guest? I'm taking the train tomorrow. Great, I'll pick you up then. I recently closed a big deal and met a girl. Hurry back and help me figure things out. Okay, you just wait. Hanging up the phone, I felt truly happy. In my previous life, my second brother, at this time, was still single due to poverty, even with the subsequent rapid economic development of the country. My second brother, as a farmer, remained unremarkable. In this lifetime, having learned about some things in the future, I encouraged my second brother to start a business early, and now he's a big boss of a company. After lunch, Chen said goodbye to me. I'm leaving tonight. I won't be able to see you off tomorrow. I have my own legs. The next day, I dragged my luggage back to my hometown, attended my own graduation celebration, and met the girl my second brother likes. My older brother also called from the military, apologizing repeatedly for not being able to come back in person, letting go of my lingering attachment. I felt that life in this world was absolutely perfect. I declined my second brother's offer to take me to school and reported to Yen University alone. I think my life should start anew from this moment. But I never expected Lu Yuan to become my military training instructor. After the first day of military training, Lu Yuan stopped me as I was heading back to the dorm. Byran, I truly didn't expect to run into you here. I felt a wave of disgust. Instructor Lu, are you out of your mind? I'm exhausted after a day of military training, blocking me from going back to rest. Do you want to kill me with fatigue? No, I'm just really happy to see you. You should go back and rest early. I sighed to myself, feeling unlucky. The more I didn't want to see someone, the more I ended up running into them. It was like stepping in dog poop, so disgusting. I wished for that jerk to stay far, far away. The next day, I realized I must be the favorite daughter of heaven. As my military training instructor had been replaced, it turned out to be Chen. But this man acted like he didn't know me at all, and on the first day, he made me stand at attention. By the end of the day, I was utterly exhausted. After dinner, I dragged my tired body back to the dorm. Coach Chen is so great. I thought he was a stern and strict person, but it turns out he's a big sweetheart. He even worried we'd get too tired, so he took care of providing hot water for our girls' dorm. Oh, I should write a story called The Stern Officer Falls for Me. Let us see it when you're done. Why didn't the coach punish me today? I wish he would personally guide me on how to stand at attention. Byran, what was it like when the coach taught you how to stand at attention personally? I gave my roommates a sidelong glance as they crowded around. What's the feeling? The feeling of being exhausted to death. The group was disappointed. Alas, even a good craftsman can't work with rotten wood. Listening to their chatter, I couldn't help but sigh at how wonderful youth is. Early in bed, a text message notification rang. Seeing the name Chin Ching, I opened the message. By Ran, soak your feet in hot water to relieve fatigue, get some rest early, tomorrow will be even tougher. I felt a bit annoyed. If he hadn't singled me out for training, I wouldn't be this exhausted. A month has passed in a flash. For this entire month, I've been exhausted from Chin Ching's torment. Yet he still sends me messages every night telling me to get a good rest. I'm so angry that I don't reply to any of them. With military training over, the instructors are heading back to their units, and the girls in our dorm have gathered around Chin Ching. Instructor Chen, I will write to you, and you remember to reply, Chin Ching said sternly. We are very busy with training and don't have time to write letters. Then what's your phone number? I'll call you later. Our phone number is confidential. It's kind of amusing how Chin Ching manages to people with a straight face. The military training is over, and I finally escaped the clutches of men, feeling elated as I left to my dismay, I ran into Lu Yuan again at the gate. By Ran, can I talk to you? I'm busy. I tried to leave, but Lu Yuan stopped me. By Ran, I don't know why you're treating me so coldly. We were engaged, and even if we didn't get married, we shouldn't act like enemies during this time. I thought about what happened after you came to the compound, and I asked friends about our past. I realized it was my fault for not keeping my distance from other women after we got engaged. I accept that you called off the engagement because of this. Even if we can't be husband and wife, we can still be friends. Your father saved my grandfather's life, and our family owes yours a debt. I'll take care of you like a sister in the future. You can come to me for anything, I chuckled. What about after you get married? What if your spouse doesn't like you taking care of me? No, I'll marry a well-educated and reasonable woman. Hearing this, I suddenly felt irritated. Against my better judgment, I continued to ask, what if, after you're married, I ask you to accompany me shopping and to the movies, if time permits? This is what a big brother should do. His response caught me off guard for a moment. What if I'm short on money? My salary is for household expenses. But I can help you out with my bonuses. I found it incredibly amusing when he said that. How could I not have realized in my previous life that this man was such a universal lover? If I were trapped in a fire with your wife, who would you save first? Why would you even make such an assumption? Answer me, who would you save first? Follow the principle. Save whoever has a higher chance of survival. I was momentarily stunned, devoid of any emotion. Just because of who had a higher chance of survival, I don't need your care. Stay away from me, and that's the best care you can give me. I pushed Lu Yuan away, took a few steps, and then stopped. I advise you, after you get married, to be kinder to your spouse. Then without delay, I headed straight to the dorm. On the way, Chin Ching sent a message. By Ran, I'm back in the unit. Take good care of yourself at school. And text me back if you have time. I didn't reply. It's been torturing me for a month. I'm so annoyed I could die. College life is. I joined a club, and many boys pursued me, but I turned them all down. During my senior year, I heard news about Lu Yuan. 2 years ago, he married Winnie, but his position hasn't changed in recent years, and there's no future for him in the military, so he had to switch careers. When I heard this news, I should have been happy, but in reality, I wasn't very happy. Maybe I really don't care anymore. The night before graduation, I still received a text from Chin Ching. Sorry, Xiao Ran, I can't attend your graduation ceremony. I'll be away for a while and won't be able to message you during that time. Take care of yourself. I clutched my phone tightly, filled with fear and struggle. 2 years ago, Chin Ching texted me to tell me he had been promoted to regimental commander. He asked if he could pursue me. I refused. But he's like a cockroach that just won't die. He keeps sending messages every day without fail, and whenever he has time, he comes to my school. Despite my repeated refusals, he persists no matter what. Which woman doesn't want to be cherished? So, knowing his fate, I still couldn't help but fall for him. I think I can change my family's fate, but can I rewrite his life as well? Where are you? I want to see you. Wait for me. I'll be there in 30 minutes. I arrived early at the school gate to wait. Chin Ching was indeed punctual. He ran over excitedly, wearing his combat uniform. Sharan, this is the first time you've said you wanted to see me. You have no idea. I'm over the moon. I watched him grinning from ear to ear. Ching Ching, no matter what happens, you must stay alive. Of course, I haven't married you yet. How could I bear to die, thinking about young lives that will eventually fade away? I don't know why, but it hurts so much, Xiao Ran. Let's get married when I come back, okay, I'm already 30. And my kids can already buy soy sauce, okay, I'll wait for you to come back, okay, then wait for me to come back. Someone called from a distance, Chin Ching. It's time to go, coming, Xiao Ran, wait for me to return, okay, I'll wait for you to come back. Watching the man take a few steps and look back repeatedly, my tears couldn't help but flow. Chin Ching, you must come back. A month, a year, I walked through the park filled with fallen leaves. Watching a man in the lake grab a girl's arm and swim towards the shore, I thought of the man who made me wait for his return. A sharp pain struck my heart. Knowing it would lead to nothing, I still fell for it. It's not anyone's fault but my own. His comrade somehow found me and handed me a notebook. This is something I found while sorting through old Chen's belongings. I think you should take a look. It was a black notebook, Chen Cheng's diary. August 15, 1997. I feel blessed by fate. I met a girl who stole my heart at first sight. I saved her, but she's like a little porcupine, prickly to everyone. I want to make her happy, but I don't know how. I admit I was weak. I couldn't finish reading and closed the notebook. A decade has passed in a flash. I am no longer young. Text messages are coming in. Text messages are coming in. I find it odd that in this day and age, when everyone uses WeChat for communication, anyone would still send text messages. Thinking it might be spam, I ignored it. Chin Ching waited all day, but no reply came, leaving him feeling utterly desperate. Rough hands tightly covered his face. 10 years of undercover work, serving the country well, but losing her in the process. After a long time, he removed his hand, like a zombie, and threw himself onto the bed. He closed his eyes. And all he could see was the defiant look of the girl in front of him. Only after lying down on the bed did I open the SMS interface on my phone. Familiar numbers, familiar names, they dazzled my eyes. The message contained only one sentence. I'm back. Are you still waiting for me? I covered my mouth, tears streaming down my face. 10 years, 10 years, trembling, I typed a sentence. 10 years, I'm still here. That's the end of today's story. If you've listened this far, please leave happy every day in the comments. Wei Guang wishes everyone happiness every day.